you said, hey, let's get this out there, because we even did a video on that. People saying, I thought you didn't search your kids' rooms. And we're like, we didn't.
Like, oh, you raised like bad kids because I went out and drank and did that stuff. But like, you have to learn from it, because like part of growing up is like you have to give them a little bit of free will to like make their own decision. She said, I can't find your MacBook charger, but I found this.
Episode 2. We didn't get scared off.
No.
We're back.
Excited. Yeah.
Super excited. Super excited. Hey, this is Talking.Back.
Powered by Life 360.
And I'm Billy.
And I'm Drew.
If you missed the first episode, definitely got to go back and watch that one. That was
just like an introduction. I feel like you have to watch that one and then watch these.
I know. I feel like if you're watching this one, you cheat the system a little bit.
Yeah, you need to go watch the first one.
You got to go watch that first one.
Life 360. My favorite thing?
Life 360.
Yeah, Life 360. We have a bunch of favorite things, but...
You guys, I mean, amazing app. Amazing app. We love Life 360.
Love it, yeah.
Yep.
Because I use it with all my friends, my boyfriend. My favorite thing is like the custom alerts, because we have them on like Dutch Bros. We have them on...
So can I say something? So when you pass Dutch Bros, it gives me a thing. Drew is by Dutch Bros, and I can say, Drew, can you please give me some Dutch Bros, and vice versa. So set our favorite stores up on it.
Got like our food places, so once we see someone's buy it, we're like, hey,
can you stop in there? Give me some chicken.
And
give me some whatever.
Yeah. Do that too much.
Right? And it's just nice. There's a school alert, so we know, when you were in school.
Yeah, and also for Kenna, we know, like, when she's leaving school, that means she's going to soccer, and, like, we have to get her from soccer, so it helps us know kind of when to go get her.
Time,
because I lose track of the day. And,
we all do. And it says, hey, Kenna's left school, and we know that means she's on the way to, a different place and a different field, so we can coordinate that. And that's what I remember, speaking of, we were, I can't even remember where we were, somewhere in Dallas. We're at some soccer fields, and we're running a tiny bit late. Not bad, but we're about to be real late because it was a tournament, so there's cars everywhere. We cannot find the field. I don't know if you were with us that tournament or not.
I don't think I was.
We cannot find the field anywhere, so Kenna looks at Life 360 because she has a circle group with her friends. Is that what you call it? Circle?
Circle? Yeah.
Circle. But yeah, it's just where they're all in with their friends, and keeps everybody safe that way too. But we saw the field they were on. We were able to get to it. Life 360 came in clutch.
Yeah, I pick up Kenna, my sister, from like everywhere, and normally if it's like a big parking lot or anything, she can't find me, so I was just like, look at Life 360. She's calling me, she's like, where are you? And I'm always just like, look at Life 360.
Hey, download the app if you don't got it. It is really cool. It is really cool. All right, let's get into this crazy stuff. Oh, crazy.
Let's do it, yes.
You ready for this?
Back in my fun days.
Back in Drew's fun days.
So my days are even more fun now.
So what do you think, when I look back and think about, I found out you were vaping.
Oh, yeah, I don't even remember, like...
I don't either.
Exactly. I feel like, now I'm like, why did I ever start doing that at all? But it's so, I mean, if you go to school, anyone, like, it's just, like, so normalized these days. Like, I realize how sad it is, because I'm like, it's so normal to just walk in school and, like, go to see. And now it's like, I hear people, like, middle schoolers, 6th grade, 7th grade, I'm like...
That's wild.
It's horrible. I'm like, they should... Because, I mean, it's, like, sad because they target it for kids, and then the teenagers just fall into it so easily.
I feel like on the parent side, did I handle that well? I felt like I did.
I never got, like, grounded for vaping. It was more... I forget. I don't know how you ever found out.
I know.
Because, I mean, I
honestly, I don't either.
I don't know how he exactly found out, but eventually he did.
But I knew we had to just kind of... It was a teaching moment. It wasn't a parent, it was
more like he was like, what can I do to help you, like, stop? Or what can we do to, like...
Because I knew if I went
He just, like, takes that, quit doing it, like...
You really think... I can't follow her around 24/7, You just can't do that.
Which I don't know how he found out, but...
I know, I wish... I can't either. So that tells me, though, that was not a, I didn't have some...
Yeah, it wasn't, like, crazy, like, at all. I remember, like, we had to talk about it, and...
I could have had a meltdown, break down. I could remember that day and you could too, and you could.
Yeah, because I really don't. I'm like trying to sit here and think about it, but I mean, I remember how they found out about me drinking. That story's funny. But the vaping thing, I'm trying to think.
Oh my gosh, we will get to that one. We will definitely get to that one. Well, I've prided myself on, because I see a lot of comments, and I see a lot of parents can create trauma in trying to punish you.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously there's easy like abuse and this and that, but you can even so much as the mental, or not the mental,
because I have a picture that I had to pull up, because in this, when they found out I was drinking, this could have been I'm pretty sure I said that these were my friends' vapes, and I don't know if you guys, I think you might have believed it.
She tried to,
because they found. Okay, wait, I'll get into the story in a second, but I just want to find this text, because I have a screenshot of it. Okay, yeah, she did.
Verbal abuse is where I was going with it, though. Okay. I try to pride myself on not verbally abusing you guys whenever
never did, which I feel like also is like how I was talking about, we're like all like sensitive. I feel like you're like aware of what you say more, because like that.
I'm sensitive, yeah.
Yeah, and like saying something just hurt my feelings is not gonna teach me a lesson.
It doesn't teach your kids, man. I'm telling y'all.
But like, okay,
this would be good.
It's like a bad screenshot of it. This would be good. Okay, so I had to text my parents telling them to go in my room and look for my MacBook charger, and like, so I told her it was probably in this backpack, which I don't know if we can put this in the video or something, but I can't see the whole like picture because I like have a cutout of it on Snap, and so it's kind of blocked out. But
maybe hold it out. Maybe he can. Maybe our magician.
I'll send this picture to you though. You can put it on the screen. Okay, but. She said, I can't find your MacBook charger, but I found this. And then it's like a picture of White Claws in there.
Who said that, Mama?
Yes, and then I said...
Oh, that's right. That's right. Now I remember. Because it was in the closet right back there, right?
Yep. Look, you can see it. And then I just said, I'm sorry, they're not mine. Blank had them and wanted me to throw them away for her. She didn't want to throw them away at her house. And then that picture of Babes was also sent next.
So we were looking for your stuff. That's hilarious.
I asked them to. They weren't even going like.
I remember
she said, I couldn't find your MacBook charger, but I found this.
We kind of, because I remember you said, hey, let's get this out there, because we even did a video on that, and I remember people saying, I thought you didn't search your kids' rooms. And we're like, we didn't. Yeah. Drew asked us to go in her room.
In the text, she said, I didn't find your MacBook, but I found this.
We don't search our kids' rooms. Yeah. And I remember some people jumped to conclusions real quick.
Because I have to make a video about this. Or we made a video about that like a while ago. But, yeah. And I mean, like, you guys can comment and say, like, oh, you raised, like, bad kids because I went out and drank and did that stuff. But also, even, like, on his video, I remember this, like, lady, she was, like, a therapist or something. Like, but she was like, this is, like, it is still, like, healthy for kids to... not healthy, but it's like it's the fact that like you're doing that, but like you have to learn from it, because it's like part of growing up is like you have to make. I even watched a TikTok this dad post today. I'm gonna send it to you, but or this mom's like, "Am I strict? These are my 5 rules," and like the kids couldn't have their phone. They're old teenagers. They can't have their phones in the rooms at all. Like just like they have to be charged downstairs. Like they have to only be used in family areas and like a lot of other stuff. But this dad was like, if you don't ever give them like any room to make any decisions on their own, like whenever you just throw them out in the real world, they're like gonna go crazy. Because like whenever you're parenting, like you have to give them a little bit of free will to like make their own decisions. And then because he's like, yeah, they used to have a bedtime, but now I'm like, you choose it. So like if they go to bed at 1 a.m., they wake up at 6, like they'll see that they're exhausted and then learn from their decisions. Hopefully, like that's kind of. I mean, it doesn't always work like that. I was like the type of person I had to go. And my parents told me not to do it, and like I had to go try it once. Like that was me. Not my siblings aren't they, or at least my sister. She's learned from me, which I'm glad. Absolutely. I'm glad that she's learned from me, because she would never vape or anything.
She's taking a nap right behind us, by the way. Just got home from soccer practice.
But she's learned from me, and she's never gonna pick up a vape ever. And I'm like glad that I know that at least. So I don't condone that. Or
I'm telling you, here's the deal. I want to make a point.
I'm not saying to go do that either. I'm just saying. If you have, because a lot of kids have, like, it's normal. And, like, you have to learn. I mean, I feel like I've learned a lot from the stuff that I did. And, like,
I want, people ask me sometimes, too. They're like, dating. You let your kids date it at, a semi-young. I didn't feel like it was a very young age. But here's the deal. If I want to be around when you make the mistakes, so I can help you. If I shelter you your entire life and then you head out and you go to college or whatever, and these mistakes that you make, and I'm not here to help those mistakes, that's when the mistakes get bigger and you try to cover up mistakes and even more. But if she knows she doesn't have to cover up mistakes. You know, I know sometimes you probably want to, and you know, whenever back then. But it's, if you're under my roof, I feel safer when you're making mistakes, you know? Does that make sense?
But but that like picture from the text, I remember me and my friends, we didn't want to like I know I didn't even want to get drunk. I just wanted to like look like I drank, I feel like, because I was like younger. But I remember we were like outside swimming and we were like, so how do we get alcohol? That's what we were thinking, because we're like,
that's great.
So we're just sitting there. We're like,
I'm not saying names, but how did you end up getting the alcohol?
That's what I'm going to tell you guys. Okay. So we're just like playing, and we're like, what do we do? So we're like, well, like Snapchat, you know? So we start asking random people, like, who will get us alcohol? And I remember my friend, she was like my childhood best friend, and like, she finds this guy, and he's like, yeah, I'm like, we'll bring it to you guys. So they pull up in this truck. We're swimming outside, and I don't know if my parents weren't home or if they were. I think they were. We were trying to be sneaky. So we got out of the pool, and then we went through the gate, and we like brought it back through the gate, and then we took it upstairs somehow. But I think we got like 4 like big White Claws, and I'm like, I
tried to pride myself on big, but you know, that's the first time I'm hearing that story. That's pretty funny stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I just remembered that. Yeah, so like they were like these country guys. They had the boots on. They come on there, and they just. We never spoke to them again after that, and I don't know if she did, but they
don't have random strangers from Snapchat.
Do not have random strangers come to your house at all. That's what I'm saying. Learn from my stories.
Yep.
Luckily, I think they were nice, and I think they really did have good intentions. I think they thought it was funny, but
oh my gosh.
So, but then we can tell the other, like the first drinking story that you remember.
Oh.
That story.
And what's crazy about that night, it's one of the coldest nights ever. There's ice and snow everywhere. And we get a call about...
Yeah, well, I'll like...
Oh, yeah, I was just saying, but I get a call at what, midnight maybe? And you never, when your phone rings at midnight...
Especially if it's your friends, or if it's your daughter's parents calling you. I don't think that's a phone call you really want in the middle of the night.
No. Because we know Drew's not,
Okay, I had those, like, probably drank, like, half a White Claw that time that they brought us those drinks. So, like, I had never been, like, drunk, which I think that's why I saw this night. We were like, okay, we, like, actually have to get drunk. Like, we don't know what that feels like. So I think that's what we were thinking.
Thinking what you were thinking, and you went
so we,
way overboard.
What should we do? And so we go in our kitchen, and we, like, take this... Pretty sure we took a pretty nice bottle out of her parents' cabinet too. I think it was like some. What was it? Was it tequila or vodka? Do you remember?
Tequila.
Yeah, and we brought it back in our room. We didn't have like shot glass, so we took mason jars.
Mason jars.
Mason jars. Yeah.
Of tequila.
We started taking shots out of mason jars, and my friend, she was being way more smart thinking than I was, because I'm over here like I don't feel it, and I'm
you went like, all in. It's not like you take one shot and then you feel it. Just in case you're wondering, it does.
Because I did not wait. I don't know how I was doing this. I don't know what. Like I was just like tastes like water, pretty much. Did not okay, but then I don't even really remember like even what happened. But I remember like waking up and her brother is like holding a bucket, and I'm like puking in this bucket, and like her parents are like they're so sweet. They did not want to tell me, like they did not want me to get in trouble at all. They were trying to not call my parents, but then they were like, but she's not okay, and we don't want them to like not know because she isn't good. Like
that situation is as bad as it was. Got handled.
It was handled perfectly. Yeah, and her parents were. I could not have asked them to be any nicer. Like we took their alcohol, and they were super sweet to me, and like took care of me, and like So then like when they called my parents, they were like telling me like not to be sorry or anything, which obviously I was really sorry, but they were like super nice about it. Like so understood that it was
imagine us, we're driving in this. Luckily they live pretty close.
Luckily she lives Like, you just turn down there and you go that way, and that's our house. This is the same neighborhood.
Yeah. So that helped for sure.
Yeah.
Thank goodness, because it was so bad that night. And I
Yeah,
remember us, just standing there going,
Which obviously they could not really talk to me that night. I wouldn't have gone anywhere.
That's the thing, parents. Yeah. Here's the deal: if you, and first of all, I was just lucky we got to our daughter, and but
and
even
that honestly, like, it's like lucky that I had friends that would call my parents and not like try to cover up and just like leave me. I don't know. Or even that my friend told her parents, like...
Oh, because she could have been in bad trouble doing what she,
my friend
health-wise,
could have been, worried about, like, what her parents think and not wanting to tell them and just, like, left me too. But everyone was taking care of me and making sure I was good.
Everyone manned up the right way.
Yeah, her brother was holding the bucket for me. Her parents were... I think they brought me, like, a rag and stuff. They were taking care of me and, like, cleaning me up.
Yeah.
They got me some new clothes. Like, they were being very nice.
But that's where I was going with it, too. If parents, if you get that call, whether it be from the parents, the friends...
Don't freak out and go off on them that night.
There's no way. Yeah. You ever heard that, trying to reason with the drunk? You can't do it. You can't do it. The best thing
I remember, I kept saying I was sorry that night, but... You
did. And
but I woke up the next morning, I remember that morning I put on our hand sanitizer we have downstairs, and I went in the bathroom and I puked, because...
That hand sanitizer is strong. I smelled it and I was like... It's strong. Yeah, and so that's kind of as a parent, that's your, that's some good punishment right there. It's like, heck yeah, here, get some more sanitizer on your hands.
But I remember, like, that day, I spent it in, our lot, just, in the living room, and we were just, talking. And...
We made you sleep in our floor. I remember that. For one, and that was strictly to make sure she was okay. I slept on the couch, actually. Or I know Mama had to stay, or she stayed with me on the couch. Yeah, stayed with you, slept, and I think we brought you in on we made you a pallet on the floor there.
In the morning when you guys got up. But, so, that was, this was, kind of a big deal, though, because I'd never done anything like that extent. And so, but they handled it really well, though, because
it's devastating as a dad.
Yeah, I should have, you really, you don't have to drink to have fun. You don't have to do any of that. And I feel like that's just something that a lot of you it'll take, drinking a bunch, and then you'll realize,
we can, we can have fun, but you don't have to go,
And I mean, I'm doing it on but also I was really young. I did not need to be doing that, or just, I don't know.
I think you learned that you could probably pace it out a little bit, too. Alcohol will hit you.
Yeah.
It may not hit you right then, but it will hit you. But I just, I remember, Lindsay and I was tough. That was tough.
You don't want to even see your daughter like that.
No. But we got to be here when you did that. I got to take care of you, make sure you're okay.
And I feel like as a parent, whenever you say that, you're like, oh, I'm such a horrible parent, why did my kid do this? But you also can't look at it like that, because it's just what is normalized these days is it is really sad, I feel like, because that's all super duper normal now, and it shouldn't be. It's not normal, but it is. It is normal, compared to if you I went to the biggest high school in Broken Arrow, or in Oklahoma. I went to Broken Arrow High School, but so I mean, there's a lot of kids there, and the people that everyone I saw that was just normal, drinking, vaping, all of it. So, and who you're around is who you're gonna be, and that's I did surround myself with them. Well, the friends that I did that stuff with, she's not a bad person.
No,
she's a really good person.
She is amazing.
She's amazing. Yeah, we had to learn. That was just us.
She's when you look. This girl is. She's awesome.
Accomplished a lot. She's doing really good.
Yeah, really cool.
So you just. So as a parent, just know you can.
Y'all heard our bell.
She's barking.
She tries to make an appearance all the time. So what I was going to say is how what were you going to say?
I lost my train.
Oh, okay. So I'll throw this in while you're thinking. We had you hang around us.
Yeah, for my punishment, it was oh, you get to spend all day with us.
You get to spend all day with us, but it wasn't a.
Also, for me, I wouldn't you. If I was how long am I going to be grounded? You're well, it's up to you. So if I was engaging in my time with them and I wasn't being
And we tried to make it, we watched some good shows.
We watched really good shows. Yeah, we'd get food.
I would let her pick out shows. We would get food. We'd go to the movies. Yeah. We would go out to eat.
Not like right after. He's like, oh, let's go to the movies.
No,
he was rewarding me, but
several days late. But it was just the fact of let's hang out.
More like let's hang out
talk.
and let's
know
that kind of work through this and be closer, kind of . So I would be feel more comfortable to be open and honest with him and not.
I feel like she did have to go and have that happen. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But it's definitely just a learning. So should I keep telling stories or no?
I know, right? I mean,
I feel like
stories are good.
This could be story.
This is story time.
Because I'm teaching you guys what not to do.
Mistake story time.
Yeah. Because also, we were going to talk about sneaking out. That's something. I've only done that very minimal times, but definitely don't do that. That's definitely not safe because whenever you're leaving, I would leave my phone here and now that I'm that's dumb.
So dumb.
Because I would go in my sister's room downstairs and I would make her whoever I was with, I would talk to her on their phone, so I'd make her stay awake till I got back, which I feel bad because she would get scared because she wouldn't want me to do that, because she wants me to be safe, and she's
you put her in a bad situation.
I did, because she did not want to do
that,
this, because she didn't want to stay awake until early in the morning, and also, if my parents did find out, then that's putting it on her too.
Yeah.
So don't do that either. I mean, I guess I was kind of being safe, but also
you had some backup, but it put her in a
nothing. I never really did. I never did anything crazy. If I snuck out, I kind of just did it to, honestly, probably just to say I did it. To be honest, because I would.
Right, because there wasn't much we wouldn't.
We never. I never really did anything. This was before I could drive,
right.
so I think it was more just because I couldn't drive. So I just liked that.
You could
that I could just go, so I would.
And curfew, you never, I mean, in growing up, I can't remember any time you ever missing curfew. You know? And we gave you fair curfews,
it always was depending on what I was doing, and they would take into consideration when other people would be leaving and stuff, so.
Yeah. And we always set a leave by time, which is always a great idea.
First we had curfews, and then we started switching it to.
Yeah, there was a comment on one of my videos, and the lady explained about leave by time.
That way,
makes so much sense to explain that.
Yeah, because say your curfew is 12, you leave. You're 15 minutes away, and you leave at 11:50. They're gonna be zooming home to try and make it, and not driving safe. So it's just.
And we've heard so many horror stories of kids, really seriously getting hurt, or dying, trying to get home by curfew. And we thought, this is so smart. Just leave by 12.
So it's leave by 12, and then that way, whenever you get home, as long as you're around 12. And they also, they're never if you're not home right at this second. They're not the 12:03 or yeah. I would because I would always text them and be like, okay, I'm about to leave, or...
Exactly. You were such a good communicator.
Yeah, and now that I'm 19, I don't have a curfew anymore, but... I still communicate because I still live here, obviously.
That's
even
the
if
thing.
I didn't live here.
Even if you, I feel like we will always have that connection.
Just communicate.
Like us. I mean, especially when me and your mom, if we're out a little later than we, usually stay out. We let y'all know.
If they wake up in the middle of the night or something, where are they?
And again, that's the beautiful thing.
Live 360
Live 360
tells them whenever we get back. I mean, they can also check that, but they'll usually just be checking in. That's it. I'll just usually just say that.
But and I just send a checking in text, just literally what it says is checking in, or I love you, or
I usually just say checking in, love you.
Yep.
But so I never actually got, or actually I kind of did get caught sneaking out once because we had two of my friends over, and then my mom's best friend, she has 2 grandkids, and we were so stupid.
Was I here?
You guys were here, but I didn't get caught in the act, though. I've never been, which, that sounds terrifying, so also just don't sneak out due to that. That was, it gives you, whenever you're leaving, you're I could walk back and my parents would be right there, just, knowing they left. I was just
Hey, I had paper route, and so I used that paper route as here's my funny story of sneaking out real quick. So, had a paper route. The papers would get there about 5 a.m., but, so I would use that as when I snuck out at 3 a.m. or whatever, I just knew that I didn't even have to go back in my house. I could just grab the papers off the porch and go. So, but one morning I was so stupid, and the papers are on the porch, and I'm worn out because I wasn't drunk or anything like that. We had just been out all night, just being ignorant teens, nothing crazy. But so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back inside and go to bed, tell my mom I don't feel good. And so I walk in and I'm like, Mom, because I'm an only child, I'm the
wanted her to baby.
Yep, yeah. And my mom, I'm 50 years old. My mom
she
still
would still love for him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No doubt about it. So I walk in and I'm like, I'm sick, and she's like, I got you, and go lay down. I'll do your paper route today. Man, it wasn't 10 minutes later. I hear the door open back up. Come back. I mean, you could hear the footsteps. There's difference in my house too, because we had wood floors.
She could tell by the car or something.
Yep, the car. So I don't know if cars still do this, because I've never really done that, but they popped when they were hot. So like if you drove a car for a while, and I took our van. That's how stupid I was too. I did have my license, but I think I have my license. Yeah, I have my license. I was 16. Drove the van. We had this big old van, and I pull it up, and it's popping hot. And my mom, I feel like I could pull. I was pretty good on her part, because I didn't expect her to catch that. Yeah. But I never thought of it. But she's like, you better go do that paper right now. And I think you know why, and we'll talk when we get back. And I was like, what did I do?
You should have just did
it. I know. All I had to do was go do the paper route. I'd never been caught.
Yeah, but there's a reason.
I came home from the paper route, and my mom and dad are both sitting on the couch, and that's not.
That's how it would be like whenever I got that text while I was at school. I was like, the bus ride home. Or I remember he picked me up from the bus stop, and it was like one of those just like quiet rides home.
Was it quiet?
Yeah. We talked about it once we got back. We just like kind of both didn't want to talk in the car because we were like waiting until we got back. So it's just like, it's not like horrible, but obviously,
I can guarantee it was the first time I got called you seeing like me sit there, though, it's way different than me sitting there seeing my dad.
Definitely. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't like anything.
Poppy,
but I'm
he's
like,
a good guy, but
that was the first time anything like that. And like, I just get a text he's soft, so I'm like, I don't know. Like, because it's more even just that you guys are like disappointed. Like that's like, that's worse than
the disappointment. Disappointment gets you. That's how you know you did good as parents.
Yeah.
Is they don't want you to be disappointed in.
Yeah. But I didn't finish the story. But the time that I got caught sneaking out was because, so I didn't get caught in the act. So me and my two friends, I think we left and like it was fine. But then I feel like a week later or something, I remember, like my mom told me that my mom's best friend's little granddaughter, she like said something about how we had the window open or said we left through the window. And so Libby, she said that. So we ended up getting caught.
Libby ratted you out. That's hilarious. How old was she this time? Like 3, 4?
Little. Yeah, she was young, but she like had said we went out
Said y'all went out the window
or something, or she said it was open. Something about it, but
funny.
That's how I ended up.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I
remember one time. Oh yeah. You'll remember
story from your perspective.
Yeah. So Darian, remember he wanted our son.
Oh my gosh.
He wanted
Also, after this is like just after one of these instances happened that I just talked about, like, so I was probably like grounded, but which like I said,
we had found one out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so then I was grounded, and then like just for a little bit, and then I was ungrounded, and like the same day I got ungrounded, or it was like I was getting ungrounded, and so like they like let me go with my brother to stay overnight to get the PS5 when everyone would like stay overnight at GameStop.
Like right before Christmas, they're all
like
out.
You stay out, like you
stay out all night, camp out in lines to get one, and we're like,
the story's funny. If you were there, it was so funny.
It was. Now it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is funny now, but like again, I don't know why I even needed to leave. I would just get in the car and sit there pretty much and just drive around.
Because I feel like it was. I don't even
but
remember.
This is how I got caught. So Kenna, she's like calling me and she's like, because I was dumb. Also, I was gonna leave way later because I knew my parents would be like texting us earlier, like just checking how I was going.
Checking in.
Yeah, just checking in. Like, they're not asleep yet. But I'm like, I don't want to wait. I want to go now. And so I had people pick me up, and then I leave, and Kenna's calling me, and she's like, can you, like, come and see again? My siblings are so sweet. They didn't want me to get in trouble. They're like, can you please come back? Like, can you please just come back? And I'm like, no. I'm like, and
They
I
tried
like,
so hard
They
for
were
you.
so nice, yeah. Like,
So nice.
But then one time, so Kenna was like, telling me, like, Drew, come back, Drew, come back. My mom's calling her at the same time, so she answers my mom. I don't even think she knows, but she's like, Drew, come back. And so then my mom's like, Drew, come back. Where? And then Kenna's like, so then she tells her, and then Kenna tells me, and I'm like, no way. I thought they were joking. I was like, they don't know. Like, she's joking. But I come back, like, everyone that was there, like, one of them was, like, one of my kind of friends. She was the only one that was, like, because I was, like, scared, because, I mean, not scared, but, like, I just got around and I'm like, and I messed it up.
And
but,
here we
so
are.
So they're coming to give me, but all these people in line, like, they were all like, that's what you get. You deserve that. That's what you get. Like, good thing.
See, everybody in line knew.
They were like, good thing your parents are coming to get you.
Knew.
And then, like, my friend, she was like, it's okay.
And it's not like y'all could have just hung out in line at the
I know, I would have.
place.
It's like me and that I even did that. Like, why couldn't I have just hung out with my siblings? That's what I was supposed to do, but I just wanted to leave. Like,
even the friends that were there, you know, they could have jumped out and hung out. And I mean,
they were all cool. Like, because before that, I was hanging out with that girl. Like, me and Kenna, we went to go get drinks with her at the gas station.
Yeah.
Like, we were having a good time. But I was like, I get 1 ounce of freedom, and I was like, I'm gonna go.
She's gone.
I ran with it, but...
And it's funny you say 1 ounce of freedom, because we...
No, 1 ounce of freedom. That's not what I... You know what I meant.
No,
but because
you were just rounded. You were
and
just
so then
rounded.
They're like, here, like...
Yeah.
But they were like being nice. I was like still in
to...
trouble, and they were like, oh yeah, you can go with your brother, though. Like, we'll let you go with him. And I took advantage of that.
We were like... It was so...
So that's what I'm saying. Whenever I was gone, they still let me do stuff, and then you see I turned around and did that. So it definitely took me doing stuff multiple times. I was definitely one of those people, like...
Here's how I describe you guys. We have 3 kids. Yeah. We have 3 different types of kids. I'm the middle child,
if you didn't know. If that helps you understand.
Middle child right here. So Darian, oldest kid, if we told all 3 of them that the stove was hot, Darian would be the type that he would be like, Drew, Kenna, the stove is hot. None of us are touching the stove.
Yeah.
None of us are touching it. I'm going to help y'all keep from touching it. Kenna would be the type that she would probably not touch it on purpose, but she might actually trip into the stove.
She would touch it, but then she would not touch it again.
She would touch it, and it would just be she would just kind of, I mean, it wouldn't be like,
be like, and then she would not touch it again.
Yep. And then she would trip into it accidentally sometimes.
But she would stop. She would realize it's bad, but it came out.
Yep. And then Drew.
It took me a lot of times to touch that hot stove before I realized.
She'd just throw her hand on it and be like, this ain't that hot. And even though her hands freaking burn up with blisters on it, it's not that hot. I'm good. And then she finally looked at the hand and was like, you know what? I can have some fun times and I don't even have to get burnt doing it. Hand, right?
Which, And now I'm just like...
Sums you guys up.
Yeah, that's how, because Darian, he's like a perfect little angel.
Oh, he's not a perfect little angel.
No, but that's...
It's good kids. Every single one of you guys are freaking good kids.
Kenna's a little angel, too. I'm a little angel.
All you guys are...
I'm joking. But
all you guys
You guys know what I mean. But whenever I tell you guys these stories, I just think they're funny to look back on from now. And it doesn't make him a bad parent. It doesn't make me a bad person.
No.
It's just growing up, I feel like.
It's growing up, and again, it's about parents just... Your kids are going to make mistakes, parents. They're going to.
And you're not going to no one is going to like that.
No one likes the mistakes, but it's...
You'll have to learn how to navigate through it also, because...
You can't just kick them out of the house. You can't just, lock them in their rooms. You can't just...
You have to figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
But...
And work through it. Talk through it.
Healthily, because...
Talk about the dangers of what they, of their mistakes. And even though it's as a kid, it's not going to, at some point in time, it does register.
Because my mom's just like, that's what she always told me if I did that stuff. She's like, you literally just do it because your frontal lobe's not developed. I don't know how many people have heard that talk. They're like, your frontal lobe is just not developed.
And it is 100% fact. 100% fact. Your frontal lobe.
So you just don't know, the consequences of your own actions.
It's like you live in the moment. I'm invincible, and... But no, stay. Man, I love this episode.
I know. I feel like that was good.
Some of those,
we were open about everything, and
absolutely. We navigated through some tough waters,
and then we figured out what worked to get me to stop doing that.
What works, and it was really just being
healthy,
there for you, healthy talks,
and being able to talk about it, kind of.
And even explaining about drinking, now granted, underage drinking is illegal against the law. But we talk about if you're going to do that, you can still just be, have limits,
Yeah, like you don't need to.
There's no need to like go overboard and
So you have to learn that. That's what I'm saying. Like as you'll do stuff, you'll learn, you'll grow from it.
Talk through the hard stuff, parents. Be there.
Yep.
Good episode. Good episode.
Very good.
Thank you guys for being with us. Hey, if you listen to this, you didn't listen to one, go back and listen to one. But stay tuned for number 3. We'll be out next week. And again, this was Talking.Back.
Powered by Life 360.
I was Billy.
And I was Drew.
We'll see you guys next time.